veterans of WebEx hearings from the past have probably heard before. And then we will proceed. So if you're ready, we can go ahead and go on the record.
Okay, on the record.
Okay. The Public Utilities Commission of Ohio is assigned for public hearing at this time and place, case number 2323 EL-SSO, captioned in the matter of the application of Ohio Power Company for authority to establish a standard service offer pursuant to revised code 4928.143 in the form of an electric security plan, and case number 2324 ELAAM, captioned in the matter of the application of Ohio Power Company for approval of certain accounting authority. My name is David Hicks, and I am one of the attorney examiners assigned by the commission to hear this case. Also on with me is the other attorney examiner assigned by the commission, Greta C. I'll also note that we have a number of PUCO staff members in this WebEx hearing. You've already heard from Mary Fisher and Micah. I believe Jill Coker's on. Some other folks that are assisting and facilitating things running smoothly here in the hearing. As I'd said earlier, I have a few preliminary remarks, and then we will turn things over. But at this time, we'll go ahead and start by taking appearances on behalf of the parties, beginning with the company.
Good morning, Your Honors. On behalf of Ohio Power Company, I am Michael Schuler, Senior Counsel for AEP Ohio.
Thank you. For Ohio Consumers Council? You're muted, Mr. Michael.
On behalf of AEP's residential utility consumers, the Office of the Ohio Consumers Council by Bill Michael.
Thank you. I believe we have on council for Ohio Energy Leadership Council.
Yes, good morning, Your Honors. David Proano from the law firm of Baker and Hostetler, representing Intervenor, Ohio Energy Leadership Council.
And then I believe we have counsel on for OEC.
There's Karen Nordstrom with the Ohio Environmental Council, 1145 Chesapeake Avenue, Suite I, Columbus, Ohio, 43212.
Thank you. I believe, is there other counsel on that I may have missed? It's kind of hard to tell on this with the number of interveners we have in terms of panelists. I see someone on from our, I think that's it for council. I'll just,
This is Robert Dove. I just joined. I apologize.
okay, go ahead, Mr. Dove.
But I'm here on behalf of Ohio Partners for Affordable Energy, Calpine Retail Holdings, LLC, with the law firm of Kegler, Brown, Hill, and Ritter. I may be in and out, so don't, and my camera unfortunately doesn't work. When I flip it on, you get a symbol. My apologies.
No worries. Any other counsel? I'm trying to look through here.
I don't see another counsel that I recognize as panelists, Mr. Hicks.
Neither do I. There is a Matt who is a panelist. Matt, if you want to unmute and
staff.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I don't see any other identified counsel either, so I'll just note, again, for the record, there are a number of parties that have intervened in this case that may not be making an appearance here at this hearing, but are admitted as interveners into the case. The purpose of today's public hearing is to receive testimony regarding Ohio Power Company's application filed on January 6th, 2023. In the application, the company requests authority to establish a standard service offer in the form of an electric security plan for the period commencing June 1, 2024 and continuing through May 31, 2030. The public hearings scheduled in this case are only one aspect of the process. In addition to this virtual hearing today, there are or have been 5 additional local public hearings scheduled at various locations that have taken place throughout April and into May. If you need more information on those other hearings, please reach out to PUCO staff or check the commission website to get the particulars on those meetings. Also, I will note that the evidentiary hearing in these cases is scheduled to commence on July 10th, 2023 at the commission's offices in Columbus. In the application, the company is proposing an electric security plan that, among other things, is intended to satisfy its requirement to provide a default electric generation service, or what is commonly referred to as the standard service offer, while also addressing certain distribution service of the company and the continuation and/or creation of certain riders. Just some information and particulars on this hearing today. I'll point out that it's not intended to be a question and answer session. It's an opportunity for members of the public to testify and provide the commission with their thoughts as to the application. In regards to the virtual aspect of the hearing, if you experience technical difficulties during the hearing, a couple of options to address the issue. If your internet connection drops or you get disconnected, you can certainly just try to reconnect via WebEx as you had previously. If that's unsuccessful, you can call the board's legal department at 614-466-6843 for assistance. I'll also note that this hearing is being live streamed on the PUCO YouTube channel. So to the extent that someone just wants to view it or listen or watch, they can do so there. There's also a chat function in the WebEx that could be used to contact our staff. If you need technical help, just be aware that the chat function shouldn't be used for anything such as offering comments or anything official of that matter. The chats are recorded, aren't private, but they're also not a part of the official record of the case, as will be someone's testimony once they're sworn in and offer their testimony. As indicated by the entry of April 17th, 2023, witnesses were instructed to register to testify. Individuals who have registered to provide testimony should be ready to speak when we read their name from the registration list. The witnesses are currently attendees and are muted and have no video. Once their name is called, PUCO staff will promote the witnesses. That will allow them to appear on video and unmute their microphones so that they can offer testimony. As you all have already seen, based on things so far, please bear with us as we have any technical issues or are working to queue up witnesses. It may take some time or may divert attention away from the actual hearing, but just bear with us and we will get everyone on who intends to testify. For witnesses that do offer testimony, once you have concluded with your testimony, the attorney examiners and counsel for parties will have the opportunity to ask you questions if they have any questions for you. So just be aware of that. For those that are panelists, I would just note, just to avoid any unnecessary background noise or things of that nature, if you're not speaking or don't need to speak quickly, just leave your mic muted, just so everything remains clear. Additionally, if you don't want to testify, if you're watching or if you signed up to testify and choose not to, you can also submit written comments. And again, I would go to the PUCO website. You can go to case number 2323 EL SSO and submit written comments there. And finally, I'll just note the hearing is being transcribed by a court reporter. So if you are testifying or speaking, try to speak clearly Maybe take a pause after questions so we're not talking over each other virtually, so that the court reporter can accurately transcribe your testimony. And with that, just give me 1 second to see if I believe we have 3 witnesses that signed up that are on as attendees currently. So at this point, if there are no questions from any of the council, and I'll take silence as no questions, I will go ahead and start calling witnesses in the order that I have here. To the extent I may jump over someone that we realize is on, we will circle back to everyone that is on. Once I call your name, you'll get promoted. I will swear you in, ask you to state your name and address, and then you can provide your testimony, and it will be considered as part of the record in this case. With that, hearing no questions, I believe, and Micah or Mary can certainly correct me on this if I'm wrong, on our list, the first witness that I'm seeing on that intends to testify is Jessica Holmes.
Jessica, you've been promoted. If you could enable your audio and video.
And also, as we wait for Ms. Holmes, what I didn't say is, with the number of witnesses we have, I'm not going to run a hard clock or anything like that in terms of timing of testimony. But let's just be respectful of everyone's time, keep comments to a reasonable time period so everyone that wants to speak is able to do so. I believe I can see Ms. Holmes. Can you hear me, Ms. Holmes?
I can hear you.
Okay, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, if you could please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Jessica Holmes, Jessica, last name Holmes.
Okay, and could you please provide your address?
3081 Indianola Avenue, Columbus, Ohio 43202.
Okay, thank you. Please go ahead with your testimony.
I'm not sure if you're aware of my location. I was one of the unfortunate people who did not have air conditioning during the hottest part of the summer last year. And I would also like to state that, I am a healthcare worker, so I have been through COVID. COVID was really hard time. It was supposed to be a hard time for all of us as a community, but I have noticed that AEP has had record increases in record revenue. I apologize. While the rest of us who are paying for increases of groceries and rent and pretty much everything else. I'm also childless, still struggling. And I did not increase, record profits on myself. I've got a low, increase in my pay rate, unfortunately. And, I would appreciate if larger companies would also recognize that it is a hard time. And I don't think you need to be making profits off of us who are really, really struggling. And that is it. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes. Any questions from any of the parties? I'll start with you, Mr. Schuler, from the company.
Honor, thank you for your time today, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
Any questions from other intervener counsel that are on?
No questions, Your Honor.
Attorney Examiner C, any questions?
Thank you very much, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you for your time, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe next on the list is Molly Nichols.
You've been promoted. If you can enable your audio and video.
There, I can see you. Can you hear and see me okay, Ms. Nichols?
Yes.
Okay. If you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Molly Nichols, Mollynichols.
Thank you. And could you please provide your address?
I live at 2553 Glen Echo Drive, Columbus, Ohio, 43202.
Thank you. Please go ahead with your testimony.
Thank you. My name's Molly Nichols. I'm here today to represent myself and my family. Thank you for the opportunity to provide this testimony. AEP Ohio is our distribution utility here in Columbus, and we live in the city, so we're benefiting from the city's aggregation program that is currently sourced with renewable energy. So we know our household will not feel the dramatic increase in energy costs that many people will across the state starting June 1st. These skyrocketing energy prices are a direct result of the volatile fossil fuel market, and they're a sobering example of why the default standard service offer should include more renewable sources, which would make the cost of energy more affordable and predictable. The thing I do want to focus on today is that my household will feel the impact of AEP Ohio's proposed increase in distribution charges as part of their electric security plan, which is the subject of this hearing. These include a 5% increase, which would take effect June 2024, and a nearly 14% increase by 2030. These are charges the utility and the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio have direct control over, unlike the energy supply costs that are based on global market forces and we know are going up so dramatically. Our family is feeling the impact of inflation, especially high grocery prices and other costs of necessities. And I'm actually currently on chemotherapy treatment for cancer and only able to work part-time, which limits our income in our family. The last thing we need is our utility bills going up. AEP Ohio is asking for over $700 million from our pockets to manage vegetation. And I understand trimming trees is important for reliability, but I'm asking the Public Utilities Commission to tell AEP to find those funds elsewhere. AEP's overall profit in 2022 was $12.5 billion. That's all of AEP, but it was a nearly 11% increase from 2021. In 2022, AEP CEO made over $16 million in compensation. AEP continues to increase the dividends that they pay to shareholders while they're shutting off hundreds of thousands of households' power. So they're making profit while we're having to pay more and more each year. The utility should not be asking us to pay more distribution charges, especially amidst these surging energy supply prices. And finally, in this case, AEP is asking the Public Utilities Commission for the option to collect even more money on its bad coal plant investments, the Ohio Valley Electric Corporation coal plants. This opportunity for future collection is called deferral authority. Ratepayers have already paid hundreds of millions for these coal plants and are slated to pay up to $850 million by 2030. Please do not allow them to ask for even more money from us to prop up these old polluting coal plants. The Public Utility Commission of Ohio's mission is to ensure rates are affordable for consumers, not to protect and increase utilities' profits. Please do not allow AEP to increase our distribution rates. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols. Mr. Schuler, any questions for the witness on behalf of the company?
Your Honor, thank you for your time today, Ms. Nichols, and I wish you good health and strength as you endure chemotherapy.
Thank you.
Any questions from any of the other counsel for interveners?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Nichols, thank you for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
So I want to put out a general warning, not warning, but to folks that are in as attendees, to the extent you may be intending or have intended to testify, and if you need to reach out to our folks that are running things, you can chat directly to our staff. So I will throw that out there. We had 3 witnesses in here, but the third one that was on the list, I'm no longer seeing as an attendee. So maybe we can just kill time for a minute here and see if anyone chats to Mary or Micah. Otherwise, we may have only had 2 witnesses. The other thing is, I think someone got promoted as a panelist. I don't know if they want to enter an appearance on behalf of their client. Mr. Gibbs.
No.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may,
Sure.
Karen Nordstrom from Ohio Environmental Council. I do see, looking at the attendees list, I do see Quasi on there, and I did see that name as listed to.
Yeah, I didn't say that. He spoke with our staff behind the scenes.
My apologies. My apologies.
No worries. That's a good point. He was on the list, but he does not intend to testify today. With that, I think that's all. I'll do one more search of the attendees, but Ms. Holmes already testified. Ms. Nichols already testified. Mr. Lowe is not intending to testify today. I believe that's it. If there are no questions from council, we can move towards wrapping things up. I'll again just sorry if someone was saying something.
Yeah, Your Honor, this is Bill Michael from OCC. I was wondering about getting the court reporter's information so we could obtain a transcript if we'd like to. Can that be posted or emailed to panelists by chance?
Sure.
Do you want me to put the my email in the chat?
That would be great.
Okay. Let me see if I can. It's Don, D-O-N, the number 3, veritext@gmail.com. And I put it in the chat. And if the attorneys, just as a double check, if they wanted to have on their email their firm name and who they represent. I know we did it at the beginning, so it's probably going to be okay. Sometimes the emails come with that anyway, but and also Mr. Hicks, can I get Micah's last name?
Schmidt. SCHMIDT.
Okay, yeah, he's the host that's talked a few times, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it. All right, back to you, Mr. Hicks. Back on the record.
Okay. So with that, I believe council asked the questions they had. I'll just again thank everyone for getting on today and thank our witnesses. Thank our staff that helped us get through the changing technology. Again, if folks would like more information on other hearings scheduled in these cases, I encourage you to go to the PUCO website, and there'll be calendar information. And you can also enter the case number into docketing there. With that, if there's nothing else from the parties, we are adjourned.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Thanks, everyone.